Yo, this D with the Headline Podcast. I read you the story beyond the headlines. Today we talking New York Knicks, and the headline says, is there a reason to worry about the Knicks against other top NBA teams? The Knicks head into All-Star Weekend with a 36-18 record, sitting comfortably in the Eastern Conference, third seed, coming off of 9 wins in their last 11 games. Those results should be something to celebrate, being a historic start to the season. But some fans feel the team isn't reaching its potential. After a 131-104 blowout loss to the Celtics last Saturday and a repeat of their opening night matchup, New York fell to 1-5 against the top 2 seeds in both conferences. To those convinced this season is championship or bust, this is a sign pointing to the latter. Enough so to elicit some very emotional responses, even for the internet. While the ring is the ultimate goal for any franchise, especially so for the star of Knicks, 29 of 30 teams will fall short every year, and no amount of regular season dominance assures you a chance of being the one that doesn't. On the flip side, the league has more parity and unpredictability than ever. So putting together a competitive team that can make a deep run and hopes to break through has been a viable approach. That's what the New York Knicks did in trading for Mikal Bridges and Karl-Anthony Towns this summer, opening up a multi-year window for a 50-win team to make their magical run. But patience isn't fans' strong suit, and the idea of uncorking a team's asset pile to be a tier below a true title contender doesn't sit well. So should they be worried this Knicks team hasn't beaten the clear contenders of the league? The short answer is no. For starters, there has been little to no research on the correlation between beating top-seeded regular season teams and winning a championship. New York actually passes the sniff test well on indicators that have been tested. They beat other playoff teams by huge margins and boast the top 5 net rating in the league. Even in their losses to NBA Elite, there have been positive flashes. They were competitive into the third quarter of their last Boston matchup and led both Oklahoma City and Cleveland in the fourth quarter of those 2 losses. It's not as if the Knicks have been an entirely different team than these other teams. If anything, the conversation should be around the historical dominance and matchup dynamics of the Celtics, Thunder, and Cavaliers. Because just being a top 2 team, a top 2 seed doesn't mean much in contention picture. Pardon me, y'all. The last final meetings of the top 2 seeds was in 2018. Dallas made the finals last season as a 5th seed after going 2-5 against the top 2 seeds in the conference, and they ended up beating one in the series. Good sign for Knicks fans right there. If the Knicks beat up on the top teams this season, that wouldn't suggest they'd be ready to top them in the series either. Just look at how they did in the regular season compared to the playoffs against Miami in 2013, Atlanta in 2021, and Miami in 2023. For how obsessive some fans have been about a handful of losses, their focus has been on the result rather than the process. That's my point right there. The process, not the result right now. We gelling, man. We just got, we like, let me see, 36-18. That's like 50 games, man. Just over 50 games with 2 new starters. Stop playing. While the latter gives us much more insight into what happens in a playoff matchup. Do 4 losses against Boston really matter if the team learns and schemes an adjustment to those and eventually win a series? See? For example, after the Celtics torched the Knicks by attacking Jalen Brunson in the pick and roll on opening night, New York decided to try and let him switch these actions in their second meeting. Boston's offense stiffened up for the stretches and failed to punish Brunson one-on-one like when they would try to hedge or bring up. That change didn't win them the game, but it's something they will pocket and analyze for future matchups. They've now seen 2 games of Boston guarding Towns with the wing. Planning and executing and adapting is ultimately what playoff success comes down to, not what happened during the regular season. If a handful of losses is evidence to convince folks the Knicks team won't be able to do so at a high level this postseason, they should be watching something other than sports. Facts. The right or wrong injury or hot streak can win a swing season, postseason, fate any team. So luckily the Knicks built themselves to be in the picture for the coming years. They only need things to come together once to make history. That's right, baby. Get that chip. If that isn't enough for some, if it's the win or blow up, that's a defensible position to hold. However, winning isn't decided in the dead of winter, but in the bright lights of spring. And the Knicks are working their ways towards being ready for when that time comes. Yo, I like that article right there. Ain't gonna lie to y'all, yo. I like that article right there. Cause he feel how I feel. Yo, y'all need to chill out, y'all stupid fans. I'm calling y'all stupid. Y'all want to win every game. That's impossible, man. Stop listening to people like Stephen A. He's a clown because he says clown things. The Knicks are not that bad. He needs to talk about it. He needs content. That's why he says the thing he does. He's not even like, when have he said anything of substance? When have he ever said something that made you think? You know, I didn't think of it that way. No, he just regurgitate what he hears and put his little... He loves soap operas, so he puts soap opera touches on everything. You know what I'm saying? He like, oh, I love soap operas. Let's make this dramatic. Let's be dramatic. So he's a dramatic man, you know? So he says dramatic things. I mean, it's good for clicks to be dramatic, but is it good for a man to be dramatic? I don't know, but it's working for him. It's getting him what he wants. He gets millions of dollars from it. So if it's working for him, let it be. Ain't my style, but let it be if that's what he wants to do. But just don't listen to people like him. You gotta look at him like you look at any other clown. Just when he's talking, just put on a clown suit, and that's how you should look at him. That's it. He lost his respect of being a journalism years ago for the stories he said. He's even out here talking about Serena relationships. So he is so far removed from being a journalist right now. He is just another content creator. That's it. He try to stick to that journalism thing, but talk about a person's relationship. Telling Serena, like, bro, you out of pocket, man. Get out of here, man. If y'all respect them, you suspect.